Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 8. I hope you've had a good week. I wanted to touch base on a few things for what's due for Sunday and also what you need to be thinking about as you look ahead for week 8. So, first of all, for Sunday, you have your material for checkpoint 2 that will be due. So, as you turn this in, what I expect for you to be turning in for Sunday evening is your revisions, any revisions you make from checkpoint 1, and then any additional work that you've done for checkpoint 2. So you should be turning in the project design overview form again and revising anything that was in yellow, and then adding to that with anything that was highlighted. I believe it was green. So that will be your checkpoint 2 work. So that'll be due for Sunday night. After you turn that in, then I will provide feedback for you sometime in this coming week, and then that way you can use it as you think about checkpoint 3. So let's talk a little bit about checkpoint 3 for your PBL unit design. So for checkpoint 3, you are going to be thinking about the assessment portion and the culminating products for your PBL unit design. So in checkpoint 2, you added in your alignment of your project summary and driving question to the standards and to the 21st century skills. So now you're going to talk to me about what type of product or products your students will create or perform or do as a result of the PBL unit. These may be individual products, they may be team products, they may be a combination of both. They may be designed and all students do the same product, or there may be opportunities for students to choose between various products. That's all left up to you. But once you decide on what type of project you're going to do, you're going to indicate that on the project design overview form that's highlighted in blue, and then align that product to whatever specific content and standards that students will be assessed on through that product. So what content are you going to assess students on by the creation of that product? What 21st century skills are you going to be assessing students on by the creation of that product? So that'll be part of what you'll do for checkpoint 3. In addition, for checkpoint 3, you need to be looking at the project design student learning guide, which is after the overview. It's in the same Word document, but you just keep scrolling down, and you'll see several columns of that guide that are also highlighted in blue. So you'll need to complete those as well for checkpoint 3. In those, again, you'll tell me what the product is. You'll think about what the key knowledge is that students need to know, or the success skills that students need to have in order to be able to complete the project. And then you'll also align those standards and skills to ways that you will check for formative assessment along the way. So how will you provide feedback for students to be able to know if they are on the right track in completing that project and that product. Finally, for checkpoint 3, you will be thinking about the rubrics you're going to use to assess student learning and 21st century skills throughout your unit design. So my thought is you will probably have multiple rubrics that you'll be using to assess various portions of the PBL unit design. You might have a rubric that you'll be using to assess the product that they create. You might have a separate rubric that you're using to assess how they collaborate together as a team. You might have a rubric to assess critical thinking skills. There's lots of different rubrics that you may have to assess different portions of the PBL unit. So I want you to be thinking about what those rubrics are going to look like and be ready to turn those in at the next checkpoint. And so to help you with that, I've included several different rubrics from the Buck Institute for Education's website in the Materials and Resources submodule of Week 8. So if you click on that Material and Resources submodule, you'll see rubrics for presentation, for collaboration, critical thinking skills, creativity, aligned for different grade bands, 6 through 8 or maybe 6 through 12, 3 through 5, and K through 2. And most of those documents are all Word documents, and so they can be edited to fit your design if they need to be, or you can just use them as they are. If it's a good rubric and it fits what you need, then no need to have to reinvent the wheel. So I encourage you to take a look at those. If you want more resources regarding rubrics and planning forms and so forth that you can use in your PBL unit design, you can go to the Buck Institute's website. It's www.bie.org, and they have a ton more resources there as well. Also, in the file that explains the assignments, I encourage you to take a look at your textbooks for this week and moving forward through checkpoint 3. If you are working off of the PBL and elementary grades textbook, I would encourage you to take a look at reading chapters 3 and 4. That's going to be aligned well with what you're doing for checkpoint 3 to give you some more guidance. If you're working in the PBL starter kit, the textbook that's geared more for middle school and high school, then you'll want to take a look at chapters 4 and 5. Similar content, same idea, guide you through thinking about this next portion of your PBL unit design. Again, I mentioned this last week. I think this next checkpoint, checkpoint 3, is going to be your biggest checkpoint in terms of what you'll need to put together and turn in to me. But I also think it will propel you forward the farthest in terms of thinking about your unit design and putting all of that together. So if you have any questions, let me know as always. There's no formal assignments due for this week, so nothing is actually going to be due next Sunday. We'll just look ahead towards checkpoint 3. I do encourage you to be thinking and continuing to work on your STEM stamp project as well. So remember, that's the ongoing project that you have that you're working on, where you're going to submit kind of a short narrative to explain your STEM stamp project to me, and then you're going to implement that STEM stamp project and talk to me through video about what worked, what didn't, and the impact that it had on the school or local community. So I encourage you to remind yourself about that assignment and think about that a little bit more too as we kind of get towards the midway point of the semester. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. This is ETSU's spring break, so I will be working right through spring break, so do not hesitate to contact me at any point, and I'm going to be trying to get some things done as we move forward. So I hope you have a great week, and I will look forward to seeing you again next week.